that stimulate young minds. Beyond our education efforts, AFA promotes public awareness by sponsoring professional development workshops, symposia, and policy forums throughout the year.
It's an honor to be here with wonderful, wonderful people of the Air Force Association who never failed the active Air Force, the total force that never failed any of the endeavors that the United States Air Force is involved in.
Through professional development and with our website, www.afa.org, AFA ensures that top issues facing the Air Force reach the American public. Our webpage reports on the issues and is a unique resource of information on air and space power. Membership in AFA doesn't end there. Additional benefits include access to AFA's bank card, insurance programs, medical discount programs, and many other incentives. Just a few ways AFA makes a difference.
I invite you to join the Air Force Association. Joining AFA means you support our airmen who sacrifice so much to protect us. It means you believe in the future, our children, and emphasizing science and technology in schools across America. It means you support America's Air Force. Add your voice to the force behind the force and join AFA today.
Well, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. We hope to see some of you at the next AFA Columbia Force Chapter meeting. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer it. Thank you very much.
Okay, Cadet Forte's funding briefing. A couple of things. Number one, Air Force Association is a great organization that's precisely one is a good advocate for us. The Air Force goes to serve the Air Force, goes to support the Air Force. It reminded me that about 26 years ago, I was taking an officer training school after a month and trying to survive just that, to be the real Air Force as we're trying to do right now. One of the great things that we leaders get to do is things like present declarations. That's the fun part of the job. It occurred to me that your first introduction for some degree to me was the not so fun part of my job. I have to give all the negative briefings. That's just a fact of life as well. I'm about to give one. It's a tough briefing to give. It's a tough briefing to receive. It's a fact of life. Before I get into that briefing though, for the AS-100s, brand new AS-100s, for the AS-200s also, who don't know me, except as the colonel, I'll put myself with the boss, or the commander, all right? Let me humanize myself just a little bit. Yeah, I have 26 years in the Air Force. My background is as a navigator, now called combat systems officer. Started out way back when in 1982, went to navigator training when there was a major Air Force base that existed out in California. Went through electronic warfare officer training, spent 2 years in the B-52Gs as an electronic warfare officer, listening to beats and boots, searched the air missiles and the AAAs. Got picked up for the B-1 in 1986 as the initial cadre going to Ellsworth Air Force Base. Trained at Dyess Air Force Base for a year, went at the Ellsworth Air Force Base, spent 6 years, 6 actually very good years in South Dakota. You can imagine South Dakota is such a wonderful place. It is probably one of the best kept secrets in the Air Force as far as bases, locations, great things to do, beautiful country, and a great assignment as well. So spent 6 years there, did all the things that a line flyer is supposed to do, starting out as just a basic navigator / weapons systems officer, defensive systems officer in B-1, worked my way up through the ranks, we standard out training flight, ended up as flight commander there, and then magically got picked up the phone one day, got a call from Air Force Personnel Center, a vice friend, because they give you assignments there. In this case, they were my friend, picked up the phone and said, hey, how would you like to go to Naval Academy being an instructor there? 6 years stationed at Ellsworth, it was time to move. So I got picked up to go to the Naval Academy. Our brother, our midshipman at Annapolis, spent 3 years teaching English. The reason I bring that up is for anybody who's sitting out there in any sort of degree, number one, for most things in the Air Force, it doesn't matter what you get your degree in because the Air Force will train you to do the mission. All you need to do is have the determination. However, the good thing about the Air Force is maybe somewhere along the way that degree that you did get in college you get to use later on. This is nice thing. I got to use my degree later on. So I spent 3 years teaching English at the Naval Academy. From there I went to our mid-level school, Air Command Staff College, National Air Force Base. Everybody is going to get to go to National Air Force Base repeatedly. Field training will not be the first time you go to National Air Force Base. Alabama is your friend as far as training goes. Believe me. Okay, from there I went back to be one as an instructor. Taught new weapon systems officers how to sit in the back seat, learn to strap in, and then actually do their mission as well. Helped stand up the new bomb squadron, their 13th bomb squadron, which actually ended up being inactivated, transitioned to 13th bomb squadron B2s at Whiteman Air Force Base. So set up a bomb squadron, got a command, a squadron command in not flying, but in training. So again, there's a diversity, a lot of jobs out there that you can do with the basic skills that you have. It was a training thing in terms of, we taught instructors how to instruct. I had trained as trainer. I had a multimedia element, so we made Air Force training films, not just for the command, but for the Air Force. Great job. Spent 2 years, about the time the 911 hit, picked up the phone again, one of those magical phone calls, and this time it was one of my previous bosses from Dyess Air Force Base saying, hey, how would you like to come back to Ellsworth Air Force Base and be my deputy ops group commander? So again, the connections that you have in the Air Force, it is a small world. Do well at one point, somebody's going to remember down the road. And you're going to get that magical phone call somewhere along the way that says, hey, how would you like to work with me? Again, got to go to a great base in terms of Ellsworth, right smack into the middle of the war. When I got there, my boss was no longer there because he was deployed. That's how quickly things happen. So I got to play ops group commander there as we're doing the reach-back support for saying aircraft to first to Diego Garcia, then when Operation Iraqi Freedom hit, aircraft to Oman to support the war. So we were constantly rotating B-1s out and getting crew members trained up and just getting those average Joe lieutenant in the defense at Dallas Air Force Base, no day warfighters. First taste of Operation Freedom. The moment we could bless them and say, yes, you are qualified, combat capable, we send them overseas. Go fight the war. That's how quickly things can happen in the Air Force, in the military. So I spent 2.5 years there, and was fortunate enough to be one of those rare individuals who was least wings, navigator wings, and got picked up to be a colonel. Along with being a colonel, I got to go to senior service school, National War College at Fort McNair in D.C. Again, one of the best schools out there from a military perspective because you're right there smack dab in Washington, D.C. with the interagency process. You get to go hop on a bus, go to State Department, hear Colin Powell talk to you directly. The chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff at that time, General Pace, loved National War College. He came 4 times to talk to us just because he loved the environment so much. President Bush came to National War College to talk. So it was a great opportunity to work within that environment. From there, I went to Joint Forces Command in Suffolk, Virginia. Small little operation with a big mission, a growing mission. You hear the word transformation. Joint Forces Command is all about transformation. Interesting mission. I won't say it was my favorite job in the Air Force because you have to take good and bad when it comes to the jobs in the Air Force. Fortunate thing is that about 1 year into that job, the advertisement came up for Air Force ROTC commanders, and I said, sign me up. And got picked up for that job. So that's a 26-year career in a nutshell. It flies by faster than you can imagine. The good is really, really good. The bad flies by because you get something else good. The friendships that you form are lifetime friendships. Your association with the Air Force is a lifetime association with the Air Force. And so it's really, really important that you have that kind of enthusiasm, which I have, which Andre have, which I hope all of you will either have or already have for the mission for commanding officers in the Air Force. All right, now I get to the negative side of stuff. That's the way it goes. this is a reality.